Ghanaian living abroad. Are you having problems running errands in Ghana? Then sign up Sumafo app for your assistant services, confirmation services, personal rep services, and errand services. You can also reach us on www.sumafo.com or follow our social media handles on @Sumafo. You can also reach us on WhatsApp via +233 59 720 2402.
Hello, welcome to SVTV Africa. My name is Dolores, and this is the Naked Truth Show. Today, I have with me all the way from Nigeria, a beautiful chef, Chef Damilola. I hope I got the name right.
Damilola.
Yes, welcome to SVTV Africa.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Okay, so let's start by you telling us your full name and
Okay, so my name is Ojo Olua Damilola Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah is easier to pronounce since it's English.
Okay. I mean, why do Nigerians always have long names? I'm just curious.
I think that's because it means a whole lot, and then oftentimes we are all about putting God in front of the name. So, like Olua, for instance, that's addressing God in my language.
Okay, so what state do you come from? I mean, I know you guys have different states.
So I'm from Ekiti State, but I've lived all my life in Lagos. I was literally born and raised in Lagos, so I can safely say I'm Lagosian.
Okay, but what is Ekiti women or Ekiti people known for?
We're extremely brilliant, like very brilliant. Most of us go to school to the extreme. PhD, masters, they literally don't stop at 1 or 2 degrees. They go like the extra miles. So yeah.
Okay. But tell us how growing up for you was like. What did you grow up? What schools you attended? Did you live with your parents? We want to know all the background story.
Okay. So yeah, I've lived with my dad, like my dad and my mom, literally all my life, because I'm the African that tries to avoid billing. I cannot afford to live by myself because I don't want to subscribe for DSTV. I want to still be spoon-fed. I still want my dad to buy water in the house, fill the dispenser. I mean, pay light bills, probably until I'm married. So, of course, I don't live by myself. I still live with my parents. I attended a private primary school and you guys call it SHS. We call it secondary school.
Okay.
Yeah, so my GHS and my SHS was a private school. I have my national diploma and I also have a culinary certificate alongside a digital marketing certification. So yeah, pretty much about it. I'm not a school person because I like work a lot and I love to cook. So I really took myself out of school like very quickly, like I would say faster than my siblings even did, because I saw myself outside, the tertiary setting. I just needed to, there's some kind of way you just understand your pattern and how your life works, and you just know that corporate job is not your thing. You just want to move around, probably be in the studio recording, having to travel from one place to another, creating content and making money off it. So that's pretty much like my career pace at the moment. At the moment, I'm a culinary consultant. I consult for restaurants. I also create content for brands. I also coach. I coach food business owners particularly. So when you're starting your food business, you come to me for coaching. I also prefer food analysis for, restaurant and the likes of it. I also manage a couple of social media accounts for people who are into food. So it's like food is everything I do, basically. It's just that it has its own nature and branches. So I don't just station in a place to cook. After cooking, I still do other things on the side that evolves around the hospitality industry. So yeah.
Okay. So cooking is what you've always wanted to do. The reason why you could say you knew what you wanted to do and you went right into it. How has it been coming along all this?
So it's I would say it's been easy for me because my mom was a caterer for I think almost 2 decades, almost 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. So she has all the foundation, all the background I need. She literally brought me up, in this space. So it was just for me to go to a proper culinary institution where I can learn all the foreign aspect of food, all the whole, um, modern day packaging that you need to put yourself out there. Because what my mom knows is like basic, the Zobolo drinks, and then just like our normal food, the kind of packaging you need for events, literally. But I needed to know more. That was how I was able to carve a niche for myself, and I was able to decide I was going to be a consultant. And then alongside the social aspect of food as a brand on its own. So it's not been difficult for me per se, because my mom has really done all the work, safe to say.
Okay.
She really sets the pace for me, yeah.
So you can literally say you built off your career of your mom.
Yeah, it's safe to say that, because my mom really did well for me to a very large extent. Because I mean, from taking orders, taking jobs for events, it was majorly like my mom's clients. you know Now that my mom is passed, all I have to do is like probably just give them a call. Like, I'm still here. She was really awesome in doing what she was doing.
Okay. So how do you mean for cooking? What do you think you would be doing right now?
I probably would be a public speaker, and I still will be a public speaker, because I still do that on the side. I do it small, small. Well, it's not like it doesn't have all of me. And then I see myself from time to time being very interested in volunteering, women empowerment programs, foundation are having talk shows. We have to go from churches to churches to visit, want to speak to girls, want to speak to teens, people that are yet to find their career path, relationship talk, sex talk. I'm overly up for pretty much anything that has to put me out there, standing on the podium to address multiple people. So yeah, I think if I wasn't a caterer or a chef or a consultant, I probably would be a public speaker.
Okay. What about your siblings? You said you've lived your life basically living with your parents, and you don't see yourself living elsewhere till you're married. We get about your siblings. How many are you guys at home growing up in the family? How
But yeah,
how
so we're four girls. Growing up for us was more like, being in the house all together. We didn't really have to move out. When my older sister got married, she got married from the house, straight to her husband's house. And then my immediate older sister is actually not living with us at the moment, because she got a job like outside Lagos, so she had to move. And then her fiance also stays outside Lagos. So I think it's
okay.
relative. And then my dad has literally no problems with it, because our last child, the last child of the family, she's also in school at the moment. So, she comes back periodically during the festive season and the rest of it. So it's pretty much it. Yeah.
But how is growing up in Nigeria like? Because then we see the stories and the insecurity and all. So how does that impact you in any way?
My mom was really strict while we were growing up. My mom is literally the kind of mother who would not let you play around with friends. Even when we were still living in, a rented apartment, we didn't have our own house at the time. So we were like living, far from each other. And then there were like so many kids in the environment where we used to stay. My mom wouldn't allow us, play around and the rest of it. And then King was not far from her. Any small thing, she's already looking for King. She wants to flog you ASAP to correct your senses. And then, now, typical African mother, you go out, my mom is literally communicating with you with her eyes and nose, everything. You have to be sensitive in your spirit, because my mom is going to query when we get home, and she's telling you, didn't you see me blink my eyes 2 times? What do you think you were supposed to do at the time? All this kind of thing. So growing up, particularly, my family was different, I would say, because I have friends who didn't have similar upbringing like I did. So I would say that my mom really influenced us, and then how we lived and how we grew up, because I would say that my siblings and I, we grew up beautifully well. And then that's like thanks to my mom, literally. So
So has there been any traumatic experiences for you growing up?
um i wouldn't say I wouldn't say growing up, probably until now. And then that was when I lost my mom. Yeah, it was a very tough time of my life, because We were envisaging that she was going to get better, and then nobody actually saw her death coming, right?
What
So
happened to her?
she had chemo, she had breast cancer, and then we were on
Oh,
chemotherapy the whole time. We were so invested in all her medical checkups, the drugs she had to take, the injections. We were literally consulting everybody consultable at the time. We all turning through researchers, to do our research. This next day my sister will call and say, oh, she found this online, let's use this, let's try this. And then we didn't slack as well. We were praying, as Africans that we are. We're praying and doing all the spiritual background and backings that we could. We also tried medical aspect, but none seemed to be forthcoming at the time. So it is what it is. I mean,
I'm
we
sorry.
couldn't, yeah, thanks. We couldn't hold her
How long
still.
ago was this?
It happened in May this year.
Oh, that's so new. I'm sorry. Since the past, it's on breast cancer. Um, have you been scared that you might, has there been any fear that probably you might, I mean, it might be hereditary and you might get it? Are you scared? Have you checked or anything of that sort?
So particularly, I had so much thought in regards to our illness, and then there's actually no traces of any terminal illness in our family, both from my dad's side and from my mom's side. I just felt like my mom's was a bit dicey. It wasn't straightforward because the way it all started, trust me, nobody would have thought or saw breast cancer forthcoming. It all started as an insect bite, and then from there, it transformed and transferred. Yes, it transformed, and then where I had. Next thing we had was we went for test and X-ray, and then boom, he said it's breast cancer, stage 3, not even stage 1 or stage 2, stage 3. And then that's how we started with the whole chemo thing. So I haven't really been scared because, I mean, according to the time of life, God would, do what only Him can do. That's my belief. And then, I mean, if I'm going to be scared, I'm going to be scared for so many other things in my life. So I'm just leaving everything to God to handle because, I mean, if anything wants to happen, who says it will be breast cancer again? Which, of course, I'm very prayerful and optimistic that nothing of such would ever repeat itself. But,
Have you gone to check? I mean,
oh, yeah, I
mammograms
just
done.
go like, I'm so aware now than I ever was in my entire life. Every morning I
Okay.
wake up, I'm like, okay, how did you say we should check again? And I press like all the sites. Yes, I do that all the time. I'm actually waiting for an opportunity where I'm even able to speak, probably just speak to the young ladies, just tell them about a
Okay.
couple of experiences that I had, nursing my mom and the rest of it. So, yeah.
Now let's get down to you and your life. Have you been through any like heartbreaks and all that?
Um,
You will call
Not
it breakfast.
really. Yeah, I haven't really experienced heartbreak because all my relationships actually has been mutual breakups. Breakups where we're breaking up and then it's probably based on some very core factor that cannot be overlooked. Say for instance, I had a partner at one time. He was a Muslim and I'm a Christian. My dad is actually a pastor, so most definitely I can't marry a Muslim. It's not because of my dad particularly. At the time, it was because of my dad, but right about now, I can't marry a Muslim because I don't have the energy. I'm too lazy to start explaining to you why you must love God. I don't need you to understand that, you just have to love God, And then
Okay.
I feel like we have to do so much, like so many other things, and then explaining to you as to why you must have a relationship with God is not on my to-do list. Like, I sort it out on your own. Just be a righteous person and, know God and have a relationship with Him, and then come to me and we can see how to work things out. So my ex was a Muslim. I couldn't marry him, and then he wanted to get married at the time. I jokingly asked my mom one time. My mom was like, God forbid, over my dead body would that happen? Marry him for what? We are all the men in the world. Have they finished? Blah, 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 And then my mom really rigged. And of course, I had to pull out and do what it was that she wanted. At the time, And then it was, just me calling my ex and then talking to him like, yo, we can't be together, you know. So it was sequential. The other one, I think it was relative to some certain things happened, which was more like we were faced with two different, life situation. His view and my view were not really, we're not really merging. It wasn't accepting each other. So it was just best we stayed off as friends, and then we agreed to it, and then we did it. So it's not been
Okay.
really, I catch my boyfriend sleeping with another woman now. It's not
But
been
has
really.
that ever happened to you? Having that clash happen? Has it ever happened to you?
No, because I think I've been fortunate to be with men who are quite respectful. So even probably if they are cheating, they do it far away from me.
Okay. But then you talk about not wanting to explain to someone to accept Christ and love God. But I thought it was a compromise situation where you could actually, when you marry the guy, you're supposed to tend to a Muslim, right? Not the other way around.
Yeah.
In that sense, are you not being selfish when it comes to that? Why don't you want to compromise?
Because I'm actually selfish on certain things, and then because I'm going to own my truth, and
Okay.
because I mean, so to be honest, the view for me is: do I really want to marry a Muslim where my kids have to be faced with a tough decision on do I want to follow mommy to church or daddy to church? My parents did not put me through such stress. And
Okay.
I don't think it's healthy to put my kids through such. And then, of course, they are going to bear Muslim names. I mean, in this part of Africa where we know that oftentimes we do our baby dedication, our weddings, we do it solely for our family. Because oftentimes they do not agree or admit to your own pattern of the type of event or occasion you want to have. So it's relative. I just feel like I don't want to succumb to, converting to your own religion. And I'm not forcing you either. So let's just go our separate ways so as not to waste each other's time or stress each other for that. You know, it's easier to having somebody whose background is a Christianity background, even if he or she doesn't have a solid, foundation about Christ. You already know that, from, time memorial, they were Christians from birth. So it's easy to tell them about God and then have them, see reasons with you, other than having a Muslim where your mode and pattern of prayers will be completely weird and different to them.
Okay. And let me quickly ask this. Is there an ethnic group in Nigeria, like Igbos and stuff that, think of any that you wouldn't consider dating and even to consider marrying in the first place? Because you guys have a lot of different ethnic groups, right?
I can marry an Hausa guy. I can marry. Okay, I think I will not marry a Calabar guy. I don't like Calabar.
Why?
They're actually
Why?
very, very, they are overly sexual. Their sex drive is like, if every normal guy sex drive is like 60 or 70, Calabar guys, their sexual drive is like 120. Like, they are very abnormal with everything, and they are very, everything about them
Are
is
you
excess.
serious?
I'm
But I
not saying
thought that's what you just like, right? Guys with high sex drives to be able to fuck you, have sex with you guys well.
I don't want somebody to kill me. Yes, I want to have so much fun sexually when I get married, but nah, I don't know. Calabar people are just off.
So you really consider marrying a Calabar guy, even if you fall in love so much because of the sex. That's weird.
And then their food, their accents. You don't want to hear a Calabar guy speak English, no matter his educational background and how deep he has gone into school. He still has a very. They will just irritate you, and then you can't even imagine a Calabar guy calling you baby while you're having sex. I'm being honest, you will lose the whole drive. You will just be uninterested suddenly. The accent is off.
So even the accent is putting you off in the first place.
Yes, the accent is not it for me at all.
So what else puts you off? What else puts you off
I think it's
in
pretty much
general?
your accent. Of course, it's not like I've not had any personal sexual encounter with a Calabar person, but
No, I'm not
I
referring to the
ten
Calabar people.
people.
In general,
In general, okay, what puts
yes,
me off in
yeah.
general?
Yeah.
I don't like people that are dumb. I hate dumb guys. I can't
Dumb, as in
stand dumb.
dominant.
Yeah, I can't stand dumb people. Like I need you to be very assertive. I love me a vocal man. I love me a vocal woman as well. Yeah.
When it comes to selecting guys that you date, is there any particular thing you look out for?
I'm particular
That,
about
okay.
I'm particular about a very, very intelligent guy. Like I need you to be
Okay.
extremely intelligent. And I love dark skinned men. I don't like light guys at all. I don't think I've ever dated a light person.
What did they
I
do
like
to you?
I don't find them attractive.
Okay.
I love dark skinned guys. Not black like the Ghana very black guys. Dark skinned guys. Pardon me.
No way. No. If I actually seen Ghanaians and tried some already.
My present partner is Ghanaian. And I'm sure it's going to be my last. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So is it Nigeria or is it in Ghana?
No, he's in Ghana. He stays in Ghana.
Oh, so a long distance relationship. How is that going?
Oh, it's been the hardest love journey I've ever embarked on. Be easy at all.
Why?
You have to maintain a long distance relationship. You need money, more money, and money and money again. Because you cannot go offline. You have
Okay.
to fit into that schedule. You have to be able to hold back your sexual drive. You have to stay very accountable. You have to know how
Okay.
to prioritize your partner. So it's been a lot. I mean, it's been a lot of things that I wasn't overly familiar with before now. Because most times when I date, they're just probably within my jurisdiction. People that are easily accessible by just probably Uber or taxi. I'm at their place already, or we're hanging out. But now dating somebody like 2-3 countries apart, it's tough.
Okay. So you do come here to see him and vice versa. When was the last time you saw him?
September.
Just in September. You came or he came?
I was in Ghana.
Okay. That's interesting. When you mentioned it's been difficult, are you referring to just not being with them or other stuff? Other stuff, because we want to know how you guys are able to maintain it and how long you guys have even been dating.
Um, our relationship, our relationship is funny. Okay, so
Okay.
we started talking in 2019,
Okay.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't overly serious with anything we're doing. He was to a very large extent, but I wasn't, because at the time I was still in my prime, and then I was trying to have all the fun I could have, like cover up for all the fun that I needed for my use. And so it wasn't all that like a relationship per se, but let's say we got really serious sometimes around this year, February, thereabouts.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this year was like the first time we met since 2019. We met on Instagram actually.
Wow. Weren't you scared of being catfished?
No, because so it was more like, it was funny because when we met, immediately I recognized all his friends. As I saw this one, I'm like, oh, you're the one. I mentioned his name, like, oh, you're the Baba guy. Oh, hi. And I saw this other one, I'm like, oh, you're my guy's best friend. Oh, hi. Like, so it was more like, I know the color of the parlor, the kitchen, the bathroom, his towel. We were so overly into everything, right? And then he could call me and he could tell me you're not home, because he knows what the roof looks like. He knows the color of the house. We're so like very into each other. And then there was a lot of transparency. So when he sent his address for me to come into Ghana, I gave the address to somebody to help me confirm, and then she did. So I'm like, let's just go for it. I mean, we could take risk once in a while. Let's see what it holds. And then, luckily for me, I was not catfished. I'm not advising anybody to do that anyways.
But why would you scared for your life? I mean, leaving your country to another country to meet a guy you've not seen for the first time. And what if he hadn't even met you at the airport or anything? What would you have done?
Oh, I had loads of backups. I had those
Okay.
11 other people who could actually pick me up if you didn't show up. Maybe more than 11, but I had backups, literally. I had lots of people. I had my cousin, I had my sister's best friend, I had one of my very close friends, I had my childhood friend from secondary school, I had my older sister's friend's mom, who was literally even preparing the whole house for me. I was literally monitoring me with the driver's phone, and the rest of it. So yeah, I don't think anything will have happened badly.
Okay, since it's a distance relationship, has there been an instance of cheating on both sides?
Okay, since we got devoted into the relationship, like I told you, right? Let's just say we started the relationship officially this year. So since we overly, picked interest and decided to work on what we shared, there's been no case of cheating that I know of, at least. We've both been committed to each other that I know of.
That you know of. Well,
yeah.
You hold your word to it. That meeting him, if you guys hadn't closed, if your bedroom life didn't go the way you wanted, would you have backed out?
Yeah, I would have, because to be honest, it was more like our first meeting was more like a confirmation of, trying to check proof what we had going on online to see if we're still going to share probably a thicker bond. It was going to be the same, or it was not going to be as much, probably because now we're meeting officially one-on-one in person. If you liked my person, there are a lot of things to also watch out for. Do I like the way he eats? Can he stand me snore? Can he stand me being a talkative? There are like so many things to check proof to know that, okay, I think I'm cool with this person. And then, that happened. And then, yes, so we were good to go. And then it further tightened the bond. I think that was the reason for my second visit.
Okay. So you could literally say this guy ticked all your boxes?
Yeah. So if he doesn't really tick all my boxes, I think the boxes that are left unticked might just be very few. Very, very few.
Okay.
He's an amazing guy. That I must say, for sure. Like, for me, he is really, really good for me. I can say that.
Okay. So let's go back to Nigeria. Just a few questions and we wrap up. When you came to Ghana, right? I'm sure you saw this or you heard a lot about it. Ghanaians who are in Ghana, okay, most ladies who are in Ghana who come from Nigeria are here for hookup and prostitution. Do you know that? Is there a norm in Nigeria? Is there a normal thing in Nigeria that these girls are known for their promiscuous lives?
So I think it's the prostitution thing in Nigeria at the moment is very, very particular with a certain people, and they are mostly the Edo girls. And I confirmed it myself when I went to Ghana, because I could hear almost all of them speak Edo language, so I could just tell that these people are here again. I could just tell. I knew that they were Edo people, because I was telling my guy, like, I don't think I would, if I would see any Yoruba or Igbo person, I'll be able to probably unpick them. But I'm sure that more of these people here are actually Edo people, and I was right, because we went to buy something at this night market, and then I saw loads of them. That was my very first time seeing like prostitute in public, like in person, like eyeballs and not in the movie. So I was really staring, and then my guy was like, "Oh, you better focus. If they catch you," I said, "Catch me, do what?" I'm only staring the way they are staring at me too, because I really wanted to see how these things work. I wanted to literally see them bargain with their clients, and then the rest of it. So I think, it's particular with the Edo people. It's something that the Edo people do even here too. Of course, there are other tribes that do it, but I think it's more with the Edo people, even in Nigeria.
Okay, so it's not just the Ghana here. They don't just migrate here to do the prostitution. They do it there as well.
Oh yes, they are. They are a lot.
But then again, back to Nigerians. When you come to our country, okay, when you hear about murder, when you hear about bad stuff happening, it's really contributed to Nigerians, because even what this online is coming, Nigerians were the one who introduced men to Ghanaians here. So can we say Nigerians are known for doing bad things? Because in every country you hear Nigerians, people don't want to deal with Nigerians. Have you ever encountered people not wanting to even deal with you just because you're Nigerian?
Um, I've encountered it just once, and that was online. There was this black
Okay,
American who was trying to make some couple of transactions because he
okay,
wanted me to teach his wife, who happens to
okay,
be a Nigerian, but she has lived all her life in Texas, so she doesn't really know how to cook Nigerian food. And then he was telling me that how sure was he that if he makes payments to me, that I wouldn't just run off with the money and not teach her. I'm like, yo, how am I going to do that? He saw my page, and then my page attracted you to me, and then I had so much convincing to do, and I ended up not even sending a Nigerian account number. I had to ask for my Ghanaian friend to send his Momo account so I could collect. It was stressful having to explain myself so much just because I'm Nigerian. But the sad thing is, the bad people have actually spoiled most of the good ones who are out there just seeking for daily bread and don't really have any bad thing or illegal thing up their sleeves. But then again, it feels really bad, trust me, to be honest, because I feel like even now that the Ghanaian guys are even exposed to fraud, Yahoo,
yeah,
and the rest of it, there's still a way to cover up under the skin of a Nigerian because everybody knows that it has to be triggered by a Nigerian because that's what they are known for. And then I think it all started with the hardship of the country and the fact that the policing system here wasn't all that favorable. And then if you get caught, it's going to be a very terrible situation for you. So I think that's why most of them left Nigeria to be in Ghana. And it's quite sad when I hear this thing that I hear about a lot of murder fight, and then they're having to attack or catch one of these Nigerians for it, because even innocent people like us, when we're coming to Ghana to spend our money and have a very calm vacation, you get loads of questions at the border. I've
okay.
gone by road to Ghana before, and it wasn't funny at all. We were treated like trash at the border. You'll be asked so many irritating questions, and I'm like, yo, none of you guys gave me money. I'm bringing my naira to spend in Ghana. Like, can you just respect that? We're not all that bad people, right? And then not all Nigerians can actually be bad, but it's sad that the amount of bad people have actually penetrated into almost every system, and then they've ruined things for really good ones. So it takes like an extra man. And then it's even sad. It's more sad. Like our Ghanaian brothers, Abba, ah,
Mm.
we are thinking we would encounter more of these things in like, US, UK, France, and the rest of it. Not Ghana. Ghana. How?
You
Like,
know
what
what you guys
must be
do here?
happening?
You people are Nigerians are murdering people. They are a whole lot of things. So you think we are being unfair because we are both like we are so close to each other? Is that what they are saying right now?
I feel like regardless, there's most definitely going to be quite a number of Ghanaians who actually have those kind of traits in them. And then they just probably need one Nigerian to trigger it, and then the whole place is a mess. So yeah, I would not, particularly give to anyone as to how they seem or they want to operate. But regardless, I think we can still have, a little bit of sympathy. And then just take things, less complicated than we already handle it now, because not all Nigerians are actually murderers, thieves, Yahoo boys, prostitute, like we claim. I mean, I can count close to 5 to 6 Nigerians who are in Ghana at the moment, and then they are actually looking for the betterment of the economy because they have one or two businesses that they are doing so well, and they've employed so many Ghanaians as well. So all of those things are relative. As much as we have bad people, we definitely still have good people amongst them. But of course, Ghanaians will definitely have to be on their guard, to not
Yeah,
slack or lose guard, because anything can actually happen. Even your Ghanaian brother might actually not be your brother. How much more somebody from a completely
exactly.
different country? So yeah, I feel.
Okay, Damilola, I love that you came on the show, and you. I love the fact that you opened up about everything. I would want to give your social media handles out, but there's this nagging question in my head before you go. You are a chef. You come across different people every day. Do you get body shamed because you are take like that? Do you get body shamed? Do people even
Yeah, I
say,
do.
"Oh, you no wonder you are fat because you're a chef, you eat a lot"? Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, I get body shame. I wouldn't say body shame because you cannot shame me. I have no shame at all. I have no shame left inside of me. So if you want to shame me, you are doing yourself, and you would trauma yourself because you'll be hurt as to why I'm not even taking you seriously, right? So for
Mm-hmm.
me,
Yeah.
I hear a lot of, are you even going to be able to do this your catering work? You are big, or can you stand for long? And I'm like, have you been the one helping me stand in the numerous events I've catered for? Like, why would you
Mm-hmm.
see me and ask me that? I consider it, offensive, but I've learned over the years to not give yes to these things. Some people are just probably looking out for you before you feel defensive or before you feel attacked. Take it easy and then just learn that some people are just overly looking out for you. So yes, I've been questioned about my efficiency over the years because of what I look like or what I appear to be like. And then when I'm giving a try, and I never knew you were this strong. With this your stature, see how you've been walking, here and there, jumping up and down. I'm like, yeah, that's because you guys are not open to trying out anybody. You just have a perception in your head and you move with it over the years. So yeah, a couple of times I hear a lot of you show in your body you are very fat because you eat all the food you cook. And I'm like, if only you know that I don't even get to eat what I
Right.
cook. It's sad. My dad is extremely my dad is big. I look exactly like my dad. Like I'm a
Mm.
copy and paste version of my daddy. So yeah.
Okay. Before you put your handles out there, I want people to know you could get so much from catering and all that. Can you tell my viewers something you've achieved on your own since you started being a chef, a consultant, and all that you said you were?
If you find yourself in the food space by chance, by opportunity, by choice, or by your passion, I mean, just identify what it is you're good at. So because I'm good at public speaking, I diverted it some way somehow into consultation, and that helps me to also still speak to a large amount of people over time from time to time. So I think if you're very good at cooking, showing up, filming, you should consider owning a show someday. Just look for the perfect niche. I hear people say that the cooking world or the hospitality world isn't all that, it's not all that famous. Let's use that word because I mean it's just food. But no, under food, inside food, there are a lot of other things you can carve for yourself. So being a chef, going to culinary school doesn't necessarily restrict you to working for a resort, a hotel, a restaurant, or just selling food to people on your WhatsApp status. You can do pretty way more than that. You can consult, you can coach, you can be a food content creator, you can be a food blogger, you can be a food YouTuber, you can write about food, you can own cookbooks, you can be a food author, you can be a food analyst, you can be a food social media manager, you can be you can be a food photographer if you love to take pictures and you also love food. So you can film your own food. You can be a like you can document food on its own. You can be a food director, from moving to locations upon locations, filming a lot of food related content, documenting them. Before you know, you have a show on Netflix. I mean, these things are relative and they are not restricted to one thing. So yeah, if you find yourself in the food space by chance or by opportunity, just look at how much you know and how much you are willing to learn and what your hobby is. Merge the two together and see how it can pave way for you. Some way, somehow, there is something that you like that can also work alongside food. And when you bring the two together, it becomes a niche on its own.
Damilola, can you tell me how much you earn on an order? Do you even get orders daily, weekly, monthly? Can you tell me all about that?
Okay, so for ordering for food for me is relative because I do majorly food subscription. There's something I carved for myself, and that's subscribing for food. So I have more of single guys and working class wives who are not necessarily at home all the time. So it's more like a monthly subscription. So when you subscribe to a meal from my monthly plan or from my weekly plan, there's an amount you pay, and I'm obliged to serving you lunch 3 times during the week or 4 times during the week. So that's how it works, and then that includes your fare for delivery and every other thing that comes with your food particularly, right? But this year I haven't really taken so much of what's it called? I haven't really taken so much of orders. I've done more of my consultancy job and then my coaching jobs. So I would give you a range of pay I take in dollar so that people that are watching from Ghana, from Nigeria can overly understand. So I would say that for my coaching sessions, probably for an online coaching section for an online business owner, I charge per hour. So oftentimes it's easy to, when you have detected the problem that might be affecting your brand and you come to me with it, it's easier to give you a solution. But if you're yet to figure it out, you just want to dump a lot of things, and rant to me and have me figure it out on my own, that also works pretty fine for me. So I charge relatively to how you've been able to identify the problem tackling your food business over the years and what you want me to do for you. So relatively for an hour, I take about $50 per hour.
Okay.
So and then sometimes I'm overly kind depending on the circumstances on ground. Sometimes I compromise. Sometimes I do $30. I think I've done $15 before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but that's like the early stage of when I started work.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just overly interested in talking and I wanted to see how much I could go with my knowledge.
Okay, so please put your social media handles out there for anyone who would want to contact you and all that. Your Instagram, if you're on Facebook and all that, can you please put it out there?
So my plus size page for my Instagram is at plus size chef. Everything is spelled together, plus size chef. And for my YouTube channel, it's also at plus size chef. Those are the 2 social media handles, the social media pages that I can manage for now. So I'm just on Instagram and YouTube relatively.
Okay. Damilola, thank you so much for having this conversation with me on the Naked Truth Show. I enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me too. I really appreciate it.
I enjoyed every bit of it. I hope you guys did as well. Don't forget to leave your comments and suggestions, and also subscribe to SVTV Africa. Shout out to my boss DJ Nyame and the entire production crew. See you again on the Naked Truth Show. Bye.
Hello, official pal. Merry Christmas to you all. This year, Bronya, the brutal. What am I talking about? This is the Tap Send Bronya Achedia from Tap Send to you. All you have to do is to send $200 or 200 euros or 200 pounds, and you stand an instant chance to win exciting prizes every Thursday to the end of the year. So what are you waiting for? Send the family members the money. Let them also celebrate Christmas. And by doing that, you also stand a chance of winning exciting prizes from Tap Send. And the grand draw is on the 29th of December, where you stand a chance of winning air fryers, blenders, televisions, a lot of prizes, and free air tickets, 5 of them. Tap Send. Send the people the money. It's easy, it's convenient, and it's reliable.
Having a hard time increasing sales? Every business have challenges. An ineffective marketing strategy? Failing to attract new customers? We can help you. Just Google GhanaOnlineAds.com and create a smart profile page for your business. Ghana Online Ads help local businesses improve their online marketing and increase sales. It also helps local consumers to identify the best business for their project and discover upcoming local events. How does it work? Sign up at GhanaOnlineAds.com, describe your business, add photos, and then publish your listing. Our focus is the long-term success of your business. For more information, visit www.ghanaonlineads.com or email sales@ghanaonlineads.com.